You may remember in the last video I told you how I made Cuban Boy using an Atari ST home computer and a tiny sampler. Well, by the time I came to Hamsterdance in February 1999, I'd upgraded to a Windows 98 PC system with a Sound Blaster AWE32 sound card, which could record 512k of samples. So I was wallowing in this infinite horizon of sampling possibilities, sampling absolutely everything, including sampling this, which had found its way onto my computer having watched the Hamsterdance website one Saturday morning in early February 1999. Myself and my sister put it into the sequencer, we synced it to a drum machine, we looped it around for 20 minutes, and we played 3 chords over it. The chords we played were E, B, and A. And the whole thing ended up sounding a little bit something like this. Whether they were the right chords or not, I still never found out. They just seemed to fit. We also, unlike the Boomtown Boys in a later date, we left on the laugh at the end with the extra bar just to confuse the disco dancers out there. So, over the next week, this 20-minute epic got edited down to 3 minutes. I went through a vast array of samples that Screen from the Cuban Boys had posted me. He would collate samples from films and stick them on mini discs and post them to me in jiffy bags. So, throughout the next week, these samples were positioned in the song in strategic points. None of them meant anything, of course. There's no plot or rhyme or reason in any of the samples. They just sounded good, which is the way things should be done. We sent it to Jean-Pierre on a self-burnt CD. It was the second track on the CD. We didn't think he'd play it, but he did. And he played it every week in April, twice in the last week, at which point he made his famous quote, "This is the most requested song I've ever had since God Save the Queen" by the Sex Pistols. And at which point the phone started ringing from the major labels in London, and we went down to have a big bidding war and spent the summer with a massive pile of money in a studio in Wales, recreating the sample, because this one, we were never going to get it cleared, and Roger Miller was already taking all the publishing money anyway. So we redid it. You can hear it sounding slightly sharper, but we spent quite a long time, a day or two, on that very short piece of music, just recreating it, getting the EQ so it sounded the same, all crunchy and nice, a little bit of offbeat guitar playing in the background just to give it the same feel and overall vibe when it sat in the final Cuban Boys record. There's a little bit of tapping on the guitar box throughout as well. Every element we focused in on and tried to copy exactly to our abilities. We did it slowed down the original sample at its original tempo with something like, it's quite lazy, in fact. It's got a relaxed and lazy thing, and ours was a bit more attacky. We tried to get a bit more pop, but anyway, we sped it back up again, and there it is. These film samples, I don't know where they are to hand, but I've only got this one. Station announcer. Where that's from, I've no idea, but I do remember it being taken off the radio edits by EMI because there'd been a train crash or something at the time, and they didn't want to cause offence. Anyway, so we sauntered off up the charts, number 4, then we sauntered leisurely back down them again to the dumper. But in our 2 weeks at the top, we met people like Steps and S Club and Jamie Theakston, so it wasn't all wasted.